Hi there everyone, welcome back to the Red and Blue Site YouTube channel. Hope you're all having a great day, and yeah, today it's another transfer watch video. Again, it's been fairly quiet in terms of the transfer rumours front. Palace have announced their new pre-season tour for obviously the upcoming season. That's going to be in Scandinavia, so that's been the biggest news out of the club over this week. Transfer news has been quite quiet. But before I get into that, guys, I just wanted to quickly touch on something I heard earlier in the week about Lafont, the young goalkeeper in the French league who we've been linked with. And reports coming out of France that we've offered him a deal and he will only come if he's guaranteed first-team football. A lot of people are like, oh, what's happened then with the keeper? I thought we were having Vicente Guaita coming in from Getafe. I thought that was all done. What's happening? I just want to reassure any of you who are watching this and still don't know about the goalkeeper situation. Guaita is definitely coming to Palace 1st of July. He signed a pre-contract agreement back in January. So the whole Lafont thing, I think, is just rumours. It's not going to happen. He's an impressive keeper. He's played over 100 appearances for his club, and he's only 19. So he's a good keeper, and I would be interested in if we didn't have a keeper at this point that we're signing. But Guaita is coming to Palace, and he will be a Palace player. So I think that kind of wraps things up on that front. But anyway, guys, on to today's video, and as you can tell by the thumbnail, it is about Jack Wilshere, and it's quite a weird one because we were semi-linked. There were Palace fans on Twitter at the start of the window, and also back in January, I did see a few people saying, oh, I would be interested in Jack Wilshere if he was available. And it was never really any solid rumours. There wasn't even any rumours about Jack Wilshere coming to Palace. But today, the day I'm filming this, there has been a lot of news coming out of Twitter, a lot of news coming out of websites as well, saying that there could be a potential move for Wilshere. And Palace apparently are a team that could be coming in for him. Now, my thoughts on this, obviously we all know who Jack Wilshere is. He plays for Arsenal currently. He's an attacking midfielder. He can play a bit deep in the deeper role, picking up the ball from the defence and driving forward. But I think primarily he is an attacking midfielder, as anyone at Arsenal will probably tell you. He's 26 years old, so he's entering the prime years of his career. He's probably already in them, to be honest. And the fact he's been at Arsenal for so long and he's started at such a young age, you know, he feels like he's been on the scene for years. And you know, he's been one of those really exciting players, especially being an English talent. That's going to probably add a lot to his transfer fee, especially being English. I assume that he's probably going to be around at least the 25 to 30 million pound mark. So yeah, of course, we all know who Jack Wilshere is, but even so, I'm going to do a few little background points on him just to sum him up a bit more. So some of you may want to just know a bit more about him. So obviously he plays for Arsenal. He's been there his whole life, coming up through the academy. He did have a loan spell at Bolton back in 2009-10, so probably when he was just coming out of the youth academy and everything, he had a loan spell at Bolton. And then more recently, he also went on a season-long loan to Bournemouth when he was coming back from injury. Arsenal obviously loaned him out. So, and that was also a time when he was linked to coming on loan to Palace. It was between us and Bournemouth at one stage. So it was very close that we could have actually had him on loan last season. So, yeah, he's been at Arsenal his whole life, but obviously the main thing that has been the talking point around Wilshere has been his fitness and his injury crisis that he keeps having. He's very injury prone, especially in his ankles. He always seems to have ankle injuries, out for long term, like months rather than weeks, and that has stunted the growth of his career, and it kind of shows in his stats, to be honest. So last season, for example, he had 2 goals, 5 assists, and that was a season where he had probably played more games than most seasons in his career for Arsenal. So it kind of just goes to show that, and even last season, as we all know, he was injured. He was in and out of the team because of injuries. So it does you know, make you think, if he was fully fit, what sort of stats could he achieve? And those stats, even with a slightly injury hit season, he still played 19 games, 38 games in all competitions last season, and 2 goals, 5 assists for that return. Not the best, especially when you're playing at Arsenal. Yeah, so, and also 1 goal, 3 assists in the Premier League. So the stats don't suggest that he's, you know, a great player in that position. But I think Arsenal fans, before you have a go at me, I definitely do rate him 100%. And the reason I think that the stats don't suggest that is because I think the through balls and the killer pass that he can spot that lead to the assist of the assist, you know, the pass before the assist. I think he's excellent, one of the best in the league at that, especially when he's fit. And also just an eye for a pass in general. You know, he's probably one of the best passers in the league, and I do think he should have gone got a call up to the England squad for the World Cup. I think it would be a big miss, especially not having Jonjo Shelvey either. I think we need someone to have that killer pass and that killer instinct and can be able to spot pass, drive, be comfortable on the ball. He's a very good dribbler of the ball, Jack Wilshere. Be able to be confident enough to drive from the back line, picking up the ball at the back, coming through the midfield, you know, 1-2s, little dribbles, maybe around 1 or 2 players, and then bang, killer pass into someone up front. I think he is one of the best in the league at that, and despite the assists not showing, or the stats not showing how good he is in that department, I think that everyone knows he is a natural talent in terms of passing and dribbling. So for me, obviously the rumours are hotting up, and in my personal opinion, I think that there is a chance with this, because obviously Jack Wilshere's been offered a contract at Arsenal, a contract extension, and apparently he's still not signed it. So it makes me think that maybe he's looking at a chance to go away from Arsenal because of the whole, I know Wenger's gone now and you've got Unai Emery coming in, but the whole Wenger situation made there were some players maybe not happy with how Arsenal is at the moment, not in Champions League football. Maybe he's thinking that he wants to be in a high level, I don't know. But there's definitely, the fact he hasn't signed a contract straight away shows me that he is debating, or he's thinking in his head, he's not quite sure where he wants to be. Obviously he had the loan spell at Bournemouth, didn't quite work out. I think for that it was because Bournemouth were in kind of like a relegation battle. They weren't really in relegation trouble most of last season, but they were in and around there, and maybe Wilshere hasn't been used to that. He was injured as well at points in that season, and like I said, he's not really the sort of guy that will probably get the goals that you want, but in terms of assists and the passes that lead to assists, he'd be important. And I think that having that season at Bournemouth could do him a world of good. Obviously, if he does make a move away and comes to a team lower down like Palace, I think that'll be a good thing for him. But also, I think that specifically for Crystal Palace, positions we need in the transfer window, I think all Palace fans will agree, we need, I think, one more striker, preferably a shorter, like nippier striker, kind of Gale or Fraser Campbell kind of player, but hopefully a bit better. We've got enough target men up there, especially if Connor Wickham stays fit. We definitely, I think, if we need a right back, if Joel Ward doesn't sign his extension, we'll need another player in that position. Wan-Bissaka will probably start next season, but I think we'll need cover. And then for me, it's attacking midfield. That is the crucial position for me. Maybe a winger, but attacking midfield is the position we need, because Loftus-Cheek is more than likely going to stay at Chelsea. I think, although there's been obviously links to Palace being season-long loan, and he really enjoyed his loan spell, I think he wants to stay at Chelsea and try and see, you know, getting the England call-up as well. It could help him get in that Chelsea team, and fair play to him. You can't blame him for doing that. But if he doesn't sign an extension at Palace, or the extension, if he doesn't sign a deal at Palace, it means we've got a spot there that needs filling. MacArthur has stepped in there, Cabaye as well, but I think Cabaye's getting to that age now where we've seen it at Palace already, where he's dropping deeper. He's been alongside Milivojevic, been a player that sits deep, intercepts the ball, then plays out passes to the wingers, and kind of just sits in the hole, but in front of the next to Milivojevic, in front of the back four. He's not really, you know, it's typically as you get older, you kind of drop further deeper and deeper as you get older in your career. So we kind of need someone in that position. Punchin's injured, he's out for the season, and he's not really at the, he's over 30 years old now, and he's kind of getting to the age, the place in his career now where, you know, he's probably going to be a good squad player, but he's not a starter, especially in the quality of the team we're starting to build now. So Wilshere would slot straight into that position for me. So overall, guys, in my opinion, I think there is a chance with this deal. I think that Wilshere, the fact he hasn't signed an extension at Arsenal, means he's probably considering a move away. We're a Premier League club, obviously, and a Premier League, I think, is where he'd want to stay. I think that would be an attractive proposition for him. We've got a lot of ambition. Roy Hodgson would be a great mentor for him. He'd obviously worked with him in England squad when Roy Hodgson was manager. And, you know, having Hodgson as manager would be great for Jack Wilshere to get him back on track and try and improve his career. We've got a very good physio team. We've had so many injuries last season. So I think at one point we had 13 injuries to our first team. We were really scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of players to start. And we managed to get almost, I think, over half of them turned around. And a lot of them were long-term injuries. They could have been out for the season. And we managed to get them all turned around. And some of them actually played before the season finished. So our physio team is very good. So if Jack Wilshere does get injured, you got to bear that in mind as well. I think it's a fair point to make, you know. The backroom staff has been very good with injuries. So in case it does happen again, which is probably likely, knowing his history of injuries, Palace would be a good move. And like I said, attacking midfield, we need that position. He would start week in, week out. I think we need that killer pass. Too many times we rely on Zaha to have the killer pass or the killer shot, the killer goal. You know, it's all on Zaha at the moment. And I think having Wilshere in there would just draw a bit more focus away from Zaha. Maybe leave him with a bit more room than he has at the moment. Teams always double up on him, but with Wilshere in there and maybe Towns on the other side and stuff, you know, Wilshere, people want to close him down quickly because they know how good he is. You know, guys, we saw at Selhurst Park back in Christmas how good he is. You know, his eye for a pass, his assist to Alexis Sanchez in that game was unbelievable. Chipped over the top and Sanchez ran onto it, put it past Hennessy. So we need that killer pass in our team, and I think Wilshere is one of the best in the Premier League at doing that. So there you go, guys. That's my thoughts on Jack Wilshere. If I had to give a rating out of 10 on how good this deal is and how much I think it would happen, I'll probably go around a 7. I think that we're an attractive proposition. We're on the up as a club. We've got good aspirations, great fan base. He's a London boy. He'd be staying in London. Good physio team. We've got a lot of positives, and we need a player, an attacking midfielder as well. So he would slot straight into the team if he did come. So there's a lot of good reasons for Wilshere to come to Palace if he was considering it, and I would personally really like him in the team. His wages I don't think would be a problem. We've got loads of players on big wages, but his injury, the only thing is his fitness and injury and his injury problems. But I think with our physio team we can cope with that. But we would be able to, we would need to watch that, you know, and watch him closely because we've had too many injuries in the past. But despite that, I think he'd be a great signing for the team. So there we go, guys. That's my thoughts on Jack Wilshere. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I really enjoy these transfer watch videos, having a chat about players that are linked to Palace and stuff. So hopefully the rumours start hotting up some more. We get some more coming out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Put the comments down below. As always, I read all the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts on players that we are linked with. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.